Okay, now we are live and we are back. Hello, good evening, everyone, to all the members of IFNG all over the world, especially right now for those who are waiting in the Philippines. Good evening, maayong gabi sa mga Bisaya. And although I'm not from Bisaya. Hi, and we have another session from Niners because it's Wednesday night. So please chat in if you're in the Zoom, enjoy the Zoom meetings. Hello to our 25 participants. And for those who are watching on Facebook, please don't forget to tag your friends because, sharing is caring. And actually, Niners are sharing their blessings and their talents right now to us for free. So yeah, before anything else, I would like to say thank you to Gladys, Niners, and as well as happy birthday to my co-admin, Marvin. Hello, Marvin.
Happy
Hi, good
birthday,
evening.
sir.
Thank you, Miss Den and Sir Jeff, Miss Gladys.
Yes, and yeah, thank you, Marvin. Duty kasi siya. But before we start, sa mga newcomers, because this is the second session of Miss Den, would like to give you a brief information about her. So for your information, guys, our guest speaker is from 9.09er, Miss Den Solis. She's actually graduated BS Nutrition from UPLB. So if you're from UPLB, please say hi to Miss Den, and former food service management teacher of Miriam College of Bongayon, and currently English coach and personal nutritionist, registered nutritionist dietitian. So I think she's still practicing. So, sidekick, you can ask for that service. And former nutritionist at Fitness First, former in-house nutrition counselor of Abbott Nutrition International, former nutritionist at Marie France, Makati, and the Fort Branches. And the last is inner foodie and frustrated chef. So what do you mean by this, Miss Dan?
I'm a frustrated chef. I declared myself as a chef, but sometimes I succeeded. Sometimes I succeed, sometimes I do not. So try and try lang. So that's why I'm frustrated. Thank God I have a husband who is so supportive and who eats everything and anything I cook.
Okay, Miss Dan, I will give you the floor now. So guys, please tag your friends if you're watching on Facebook. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Jeff. Okay, hello everyone. So let me just adjust my screen for today. Hi guys, so a while ago we did our small greetings, but first off, before I begin, I would like to thank IFNG for giving us this opportunity to share what we know through this webinar. Okay, so this is extended for free for everyone, for the nurses also, for the purpose of helping you guys to achieve your dream and helping you go to your desired places. Yeah, hello to everybody. And hi also to every nurse in every corner. Yeah. And syempre, for all the other professions who are with us today, hello also to all of you, and we honor you guys for wanting a better opportunity and a better environment for your families. And because of that, we are here to help you out. Okay, you're all here to listen about IELTS writing Task 1 Academic, right? Today's session will be an interactive session. So at first, I will be doing a very quick lecture. So about the basics of writing Task 1 Academic. So very short lecture. And then later on, we will be doing an actual writing of a Task 1 task description. So please do prepare your pens, papers, or your laptops. You can type on your laptops. You can also use your mobile devices to type. Yeah, I will be flashing the task description later on. Don't you worry, guys. Okay. All right. A while ago, Sir Jeff asked about the difficulties when it comes to IELTS, right? So in particular, I'd like to know among the participants, What is the most difficult kind of task 1 question for you? Because we have several, right? For writing task 1. We have yeah, okay, Shaver said process. What else? We have a graph, of course, table graph, graph presentation. Yeah, that's actually pretty hard, depending also on the type of graph that you will be receiving. Yan. Hybrid, very good. Yeah, hybrid is really hard also. It challenges you in a way. All right, so no matter what difficulty you might be encountering, I hope that with this session, I will be able to help you out when it comes to addressing these concerns also. So that's why we made this lecture into an interactive one so that you will be able to practice your writing skill. The same as what we did last time, but last week we did writing task 2 only, right? So today we will be doing writing task 1 because as we all know, writing is an important skill and it's a type of skill that you need to hone through practice. Okay, it's a productive skill. All right. So we have a little overview about writing here. So writing task 1 consists or comprises 33.33% of your total writing subtest score. The remaining 66.66% is, of course, for your writing task 2. So a bigger percentage is allotted for the second task. That is why, in terms also of your word count and your time allotted for this one, for this particular task, limited also. So it's a little shorter in terms of word count. You have 150 words minimum for you to reach that. And ideally, you can write up to around 200 words. It's not recommended though for you to write longer essays for writing task 1 because logically you will be consuming much time for that one. Okay, and in terms of time, there's also an allotted time. All in all, for the whole writing subtest, how many minutes should you be spending for the whole test, writing task 1 and writing task 2? It's a total of 60 minutes all in all, right? So that is why applying math, yeah, since this is 1/3 only of your total score, if you divide 60 minutes accordingly, so as much as possible, you should not exceed 20 minutes for writing task 1 only. All right. So it's logical only to allot an appropriate amount of time, which is correspondent to the score that you will be receiving for this one. However, if you are the type of person who can write shorter or let's say in less than 20 minutes, well and good also. The better, of course. But please make sure that you are still following also the proper guidelines when it comes to the writing. Okay. What types of questions do we experience for writing task 1? There is a variation or a difference if ever you will be taking academic module or if ever you'll be taking the general training module. So for academic module, you will be having or you might receive statistical kind of task description. So these are your graphs, either line graph, bar graph. You can have a pie chart as well. And then sometimes you can receive a hybrid, meaning you might receive a bar graph and then another one is a pie chart, or you might receive a line graph, but the lines in that particular graph is maybe say 4 or 5 lines. So it varies, it depends. And then of course, the other remaining one is a type wherein you might receive a process. So a process includes, it may be a cycle, for example, how recycling is done, or let's say a life cycle of a frog. So you might be receiving that. Also, you can be given a map So sometimes, in my experience, most of the students really have a hard time when it comes to their maps, especially if the map is a two-kind map wherein they're asked to give a description of the changes that happened or that occurred between the two types of maps. Probably the first map is presented or was 20 years ago, and then the second map is the present time. So they must present, you as a student or as an examinee must present or discuss it further. Okay, so sometimes it's confusing how to do that. All right, next, of course, if you're going to take general training, you will be doing letter writing. Okay, but for now, we will be focusing, of course, on academic type. All right, your IELTS in general is being scored into using band scores. So from 1.0 up until 9.0 with increments of 0.5. So you can receive 6.5, 7.5, 8.5. So it depends, okay? Of course, 1 being the lowest or the non-user, and then 9 being an expert user. So hopefully, what is your score again? Or what is your target again, guys, for your writing? Do you have an idea already? What's your target score for writing? You can use the chat box to answer. And then for Facebook, I would also be requesting access for this one. There. So 7. Les Conde, her target is 7. How about the rest? 7 also for Rain, at least 6 to 6.5, 6.5, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7 for math. Mostly, your target is from here. Yeah, this part, right? This 2. Okay, so this is what we'll be praying for. And aside from just praying for it, this is what we'll be working for. All right, so good job, guys. For those who already know their target for writing, pat on the back. Very good, guys. That's one step towards having a very productive and a very intelligent kind of study or approach in studying. Okay, there you go. So all right. Now, I hope you will be able to achieve your target band scores, but you have to make sure though that as you achieve these target band scores, you know how you're going to achieve these scores. Okay? In writing, you are, may salon pass yung back. Okay, pat on the back pa rin, kahit may salon pass. Sir Matt, are you a nurse? Sir Matt is a nurse, no? Off duty ba? Just right after duty. Okay lang po. Yung salon pa, sige po, just put it on your back. Okay, ingat-ingat po. And thank you so much for what you do for all your patients. In behalf of them, we thank you. Okay, now going back. Yan, so grading criteria. This is how you'll be graded so that you will achieve your target 6.5 or 7 or 6 or, oh, Teen Republica Gulfan from Facebook, she said she needs an 8. Why do you need an 8, ma'am? I'm interested why you need an 8. Most of the participants said 7. Why do you need an 8? Where are you planning to go? Which country? There are countries who are requiring a higher band score though, so it's okay. When I was reviewing, we were targeting 9.0 because we were reviewing in 9.09er. So, US, the rest, okay. Yeah, pero higher band score, it's okay to achieve or to target higher. Okay lang. Sushma, Putaraju also 8 then. It's okay. Canada, yes. Canada is requiring a higher band score because if you get higher than a higher band score for that, it would help you increase your points for Canada, especially if you're applying for express entry, right? Okay, there. All right. So grading criteria, Canada as well, Sushma. So that's good. Okay, so these are the 4 criteria that are being considered. So you have task achievement, and then you have coherence and cohesion. You have vocabulary and lexical resource, and then you have grammatical range and accuracy. Four areas or four grading criteria. Now, the first one, task achievement, is focused on making sure that you have identified the key features for that particular task that you're given. And please do take note that you need to make a comparison. Please give me an example of a comparison statement. Any random comparison statement. For those who have experience already doing writing task 1. Any sample? If you're asked to present a comparison, what do you usually compare? For example, when you're presenting a comparison, for example, A is 5, and then B is 10. Yeah, twice as much. Very good. Twice as much. By comparison, it is twice as much. Very good. There, twice as much. So just like this, which is twice as much? Twice as much of what? For this particular example, A and B. Blank is twice as much of blank. B is twice as much of A. Very good. B is twice as much because A is only half of B. Simple mathematics. You can do this, guys. Okay, next, make sure that you have your comparison. After you've presented your comparison, make sure that you have, okay, thank you, Salvi, you're also correct. Abigail, twice as much of A. That's correct. Okay. Accurate information. Very good. You must present accurate information. How many of you guys experienced being confused with the data? Let's say the numbers that was given to you. Sometimes instead of writing 10,000, you just write 100, or sometimes instead of writing 1,000, you write 100, something like that. It's confusing, right? Especially if these numbers are closer with each other, or for example, if you have a hard time looking at the graph, if it's not that clear for you. Also, sometimes you experience difficulties when giving accurate information if you're given a graph, let's say a bar graph with 4 categories, and each category is color coded. Sometimes it's difficult, especially if you have difficulty identifying colors. How many, do you know people who are colorblind? I know someone, surprisingly, one student of mine before was colorblind, and I gave him an example writing task 1, and then one line was colored blue, the other was colored violet. For me, I can see it clearly, but for him, he cannot identify which is which. So that is why, please make sure that for these kinds of instances, you don't have this difficulty. You don't experience this difficulty. Because although some kinds of tests in Ielts have examples like instead of using colors, they're using markers like triangles or circles or square shapes to differentiate one line from another or one category from another. It's easier that way because regardless of the color, you can identify the shape, right? But if you're having that difficulty regarding colors or identification of colors, please raise that concern. Also, it's please do take note that you can address that, or you can raise that concern when you register for the IELTS. They have that option there. So they will be giving you special, I think, special I'm not sure if they'll be giving you a special kind of exam that has no colors in it. I don't know how. Some okay, Calvin. Calvin has a different difficulty identifying green, brown, and red. Mild only. But even if it's mild, you don't want to risk that, right? So, I mean, what are the chances that you will be receiving a test with color green, brown, and red? But then you don't want to risk that. So that's why you should raise that concern when you're registering for IELTS. Okay, there. Of course, another thing that we have to consider for task achievement, you must achieve a minimum of 150 words, as mentioned a while ago. So 150 words, and as much as possible, ideally you can reach 200, but not longer than 250, because that would seem like you will be writing task 2 and not task 1. Okay, there you go. So this is for task achievement. All right. Also, another thing that you have to make sure in terms of the content as well, you must make sure that you have a proper inclusion, or that you've included and you've clearly identified your overview part here. Okay, so the overview for writing task 1, instead of having a conclusion, you have your overview. That's why it's essential for you to write the overview right after the introduction, because your overview for task 1 appears like, or it's like a substitute for your conclusion. Okay, it's proper, it's appropriate, and it's essential for you to write a complete overview that would somehow summarize what you will present on the latter paragraphs. Okay, there you go. Next, we have coherence and cohesion. As we've discussed also from last week, coherence and cohesion helps or assures that it assures that there's a logical presentation of your information. So you have to organize your concepts and your ideas and your sentences well. And apart from organizing them well, you have to make sure that there's also proper structuring, proper paragraphing. Okay. In terms of structuring and paragraphing, usually, how many paragraphs do we have? And what are these types of paragraph? Or first, of course, you have the introduction, right? And I've mentioned a while ago, what's the next after the introduction paragraph? What's next after the introduction paragraph? Very good, Grace. Overview. Good job. It's the overview. After the overview, what follows? Good job, Faith Lozada. It's the overview also. There's just a delay though, pala, when it comes to writing. When it comes to the comments between Facebook and the Zoom live. But anyway, okay, overview. After the overview, you have detailed paragraphs or body paragraphs, correct? Thank you, Karen Molina. All right, that's correct. Now, the number of body paragraphs and specific details, very good, Faith. Okay. Should you have a specific number already with the kinds or the numbers of body paragraphs that you're having? Or will it still depend on the number of graphs that you will receive, or will it still depend on your task description? Two is the usual number, Salvi, of detailed paragraphs. But again, it still depends. Sometimes if you're given a graph or a chart that has several categories, you can cluster the group or you can cluster a set of category and then get another cluster and then get another cluster. So you will have 3 body paragraphs. But ultimately, you have to think, if you present it in just one body paragraph, will it appear clearer when you present all your data in just one blow, in just one big bulky paragraph, or will it make more sense, and will it be more clearer, or will it be clearer if you just have several paragraphs? something like that. You have to really think about it. The goal for writing task 1 is that, for example, if your examiner will be reading your essay for task 1, he or she should be imagining the same thing, or he will or she will be formulating or forming the image of the same graph or the same pie chart that you were given. So if he's thinking of another thing, or if she's thinking of another thing because you presented an inaccurate data, or because it's logically inaccurate, or it's illogically presented, your concepts and your sentences are illogically presented, then you did not meet what is required of you. Your coherence is suffering also. Your task achievement is suffering also. Okay? All right. Coherence and cohesion scores may be improved if you are able to use proper cohesive devices. So you can use you can improve your language for this one. And in terms of language, also in terms of the actual English language, the last two criteria that we have here, yung vocabulary and grammatical range and accuracy, it has something to do with your English language. Okay, and in terms of your English language for vocabulary, as well as for grammatical range and accuracy, you can or you must be able to present that you have the capacity to use a wider range of vocabulary. And in terms of grammar and grammatical range and accuracy, you should be able to present also a wide range of sentence structure and a wide range of your use for your tenses as well. Yeah, so basically the two there. Okay, but aside from presenting a wide range usually is synonymous, or not really synonymous. The wide range denotes that you can present your data creatively in a way. But in terms of creativity, as we compare creativity and accuracy, which again should be more important? Is it a creative way of presenting your data or a more accurate way of presenting your data? Creativity or accuracy? So in terms of your use of your words, or let's say in terms of just a simple sentence. So there, you can, very good, Geraldyn, Ebueza, Abing. Accuracy always takes precedence over your creativity. Accuracy first, accuracy. Why? Because if you have, let's go back to this one. Okay, if you have an accurate type of essay, all right, in terms of information, in terms of words used, okay, you will be able to get your 6. Okay, if you have accurate only but simple sentences, simple words, you can have your 6. But if you have your accurate use of your word and creative use of your language, you can have a 7. But if, for example, you wanted to be more creative, but instead of being creative, although it is true that you have your less common vocabulary and your improved and strong lexis, but it's not accurate in terms of the context, you will have this score. Okay, it's better to have simple but accurate rather than creative but inaccurate. All right, there you go. Okay, let's proceed. So, of course, when it comes to grammar, there are a lot of things that you need to consider. There's sentence structure, there's subject-verb agreement, there's tenses. Very important, yung tenses, guys. It's important because, especially for task 1, sometimes you're given graphs that are indicating what happened in the past. So there are years that are indicated also. Sometimes you're also given what happened, what is happening in the present. So just like what I've mentioned a while ago, maps that are labeled as present time, so something like that. And then sometimes you're also asked to describe what might happen in the future. So there's a projection. So there is a range of tenses that you can use, but please make sure that you apply the proper tense depending on the sentence that you would want to present, or depending on the information that you'd want to present. Okay, there you go. Any questions as of this moment? Ah, wait, I have a question. Okay, Chai Diego from Facebook asked, may I ask lang po if it's necessary to have an overview sa task 1? Okay, yes, it is essential. It is imperative to have an overview in your writing task 1. Okay, what does your overview represent again, guys? What does your overview represent? So in terms of, let's say the other parts of the writing. For writing task 2, so you have your introduction, you have your body, and then you have your conclusion. For writing task 1, you have your introduction, and then you have your overview, and then your detailed paragraphs. What does your overview represent? It represents the general trend of the graph. It represents the summary. Okay, very good. It represents the summary. So it's like your conclusion. So that's why it's also essential. And yes, very good, Teen. Overall data, it presents the big picture. So if you have a summary and if you have the big picture, what's that? Does it seem like a conclusion for you? Or it's an entirely different thing? If it contains the main points, and if it contains the highlights, does it seem like a conclusion already? Yes, overall trend, very good. Okay, so you're all correct, guys. So that's why usually we place the overview at the right after your introduction, because it presents the big picture, the overall trend, the main points, yan, the significant data, because it's essential for you to be able to somehow state these things, because these are almost the same as the data that should be present in your conclusion. Okay, for you to have a score of 7, at least you must make sure that for your task achievement, you have key features in comparison, and then accurate information, minimum of 150 words, and as I've mentioned, you overview, clear overview, which may seem as your conclusion. So that's why it's presented at the first part. Why? Because for this one, a lot of us really tend to we have the tendency not to finish this one. Writing task, the writing task in general. So at least if you already have your conclusion or your overview, sorry, if you already have your overview right after the introduction, at least you may be at least assuring yourself of a good score for that one. It's a task achievement. Okay, may I ask, is it really necessary in writing to have more vocabulary words rather than the simple words for me to achieve high band score? So once again, it's essential for you to have accurate words and range of words. But if you will try to compare, accuracy takes precedence or is more important than creativity or yung range of words. Okay, it's better for you to have simple but accurate use of words, but then compared to having creative use of your words, of your sentence structures, but inaccurate naman siya in aspects like subject-verb agreement, which are the basics. So yun, okay? You must have a proper balance for these two. All right, so here you go. We proceed with the next one. Yeah, any more questions for this one? Any more questions? Okay, so in here, you can search the types of band descriptors or the band descriptors online. I will share the link for writing task 1 band descriptors. You can read it so you can be familiar with this one. As you become familiar, you somehow have an idea what are the necessary things to find or what should you be achieving so that you can have your desired score of 7 or 6 or 6.5 band descriptors. Okay, by the way, writing task 1 band descriptor is different from the writing task 2 band descriptor. Okay, so I sent it via the Zoom chat box. Don't worry, those who are logged in on Facebook or those who are watching on Facebook, here are the band descriptors for the writing task 1. So that's according to Ielts.org. You can read them, bookmark them, yan. Okay, so your target band score, you have to check it there and circle that one and identify what you need to be achieving so that you can get target band score. And of course, if your target is 7, the 7 is an average of all the rest of this one, of all 4. But in terms of criteria, 25% for task achievement, 25% for coherence cohesion, 25% for grammatical range. So for vocab also is 25%. So you can just get the average of that one. Very easy, okay? Simple math. All right, but then again, for the, I think for the scores for writing task 1, usually they do not round off. So there, you must achieve a higher score, I think, because you will still need to compute it. This is only 1/3 of your score. Okay, there. Any more questions? Did I answer all questions from both platforms? Hi, hello to 35 Zoom participants. And then for all the 157 who are watching via Facebook Live, hi everybody from all parts of the world, from all corners of the globe. Hello. Thank you so much for your time. Okay. All right, as promised, this is an interactive kind of lecture. So that's why for this remaining part of our session, you will be doing writing practice. And then for writing practice, I will be giving you a task description, but we will cut it in portions only because as we've said a while ago, usually for writing task, you have your introduction, you have your overview, and then your detailed paragraphs, all right? Then after that, I will be asking you to write first, introduction first, and then followed by the overview. And then after that, you'll be writing for the detailed paragraphs. We will combine the detailed paragraph so that it's easier. I hope you guys get to participate. Okay, so you can type your answers you can type your answers in the chat box, whether you're watching on Facebook or you're logged in on Zoom. Okay, so here you go. Do you think I'll be giving you an easy question or not? Sige, I wanted to give you something hard, but let's do the basics first. Okay, here you go. All right, this is the water consumption in Australia. All right, and then you have residential water usage in Australia in 2004. Okay, you have two kinds of graphs here. You have a pie chart, and then you have a, what do you call this side? This one's a pie because it looks like a pie, right? How about this one? What do you call this? The one on the right side. Very good, Karen, Melissa, JC, Myra. Yeah, okay, JC, Karen. Very good, bar graph, because it looks like a bar. Yeah, Geraldyn, good job also. Chai and Anna. Yan, it's a bar. It's a combination, it's a hybrid. Okay? So, let's look at the additional information that is presented here as well. Okay. Have you seen this kind of tests already? Or is it your first time? Who has seen a type of test such as this? Or is it your first time to see an actual example of a writing task 1? Not really. Okay. Yeah, and if it's not your first time, congratulations. If it is your first time, congratulations still. Okay, so I'll be giving you how many minutes? Kanina po. Okay, very fresh, I think from coaching or from practice. First time of Miss Chai. All right, it's okay. We're all learning here. All right, so for this one, before the introduction, we've mentioned that the first part here that you're supposed to write is, what again is that? Introduction. What comes after your introduction? Wow, dami first timers. It's okay. Yan. Diba your first time is a memorable one? I hope this one will also be memorable for you. Okay, introduction. In terms of the format, guys, in terms of the format. Very good, Chai. Chai, it's your first time, but you know already the format. Good job. Suggested format. Of course, you have your introduction, overview. We've mentioned, right, that usually your, first timer also ni Darren. Yeah, okay, overview. What's next? Body or detail paragraphs? Okay, I said paragraphs, so it has an S. Yes, it has an S. How many detailed paragraphs should you be writing here? If you have this one, if you were given this one, how many detailed paragraphs should there be? Sarah said 2. Karen also said the same thing. How about the rest from Zoom? Kat and Liwayway also said the same thing. Okay. My question mark, Chi. My question, Chi tuloy, sorry. Chai. My question mark si Chai. Not sure, pero 2. She wrote 2 also. Yan, 2. Very good. Okay. For this type, for this specific kind, for this specific kind, ideally, you should have 2. All right. Ay, meron tayo. May shout out. We have a shout out. Okay. Shout out muna ko, guys. Shout out to Ninoy Merle and then to yung co-duty nurses, Dulce and Pinky. Hi, Dulce and Pinky. May your names be as beautiful as you. Yan. Yung name ni Dulce and Pinky, parang very powerful. Will create history. Parang ganun level, diba? So, hello guys. I hope you will create history with your, maybe here, diba? In your score sa Ielts. Who knows? So, hello. We will be anticipating you guys, Dulce and Pinky. Okay. So there. Nasaan ako? Nawala na ako. Okay, sige. For this particular type of task description, how many graphs do you see? You see only 2, right? So you have 1 and then you have 2. So ideally, for this one, you have 1 body paragraph for this one. Yan. And then the remaining, the second body paragraph is for this one also. So 2 body paragraph tayo. The third one, I don't know where the information will come from. So that's why it's ideal that for this particular kind of graph, please take note that this particular kind of graph, you have two body paragraphs, okay? If, for example, let's just make it a little challenging though. If, for example, you only have this one, there, you only have this one. Yan lang siya. How many body paragraphs? If you only have this one. One. It can be one. But ideally, usually the ideal is to have two. Why two? Because it might be very confusing if you're presenting all of these, if you're discussing all of these in one body paragraph. How many categories do you have here again? For the water consumption, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So all 6 categories you'll be discussing in just one body paragraph. It's a little confusing though. It might be a little overwhelming for the reader to do that. That's why even if you only have one body or one chart like this, it's also helpful for you to still have two body paragraphs. Now my question is, or the challenge is, if you're supposed to have two body paragraphs for this one, how are you going to divide it? So what should be the content of your first body paragraph? You have, what do you do usually? Should there be things or should there be categories that you will cluster, or should you be ranking them instead from highest to lowest? You have to cluster, yeah. Highest to lowest first. So highest to lowest. So I think this is your highest. The next, what's after 13%? You have 11%. And then you have this one, 10%. And then 6% is 5. And then you have 6 for the 3%. And then you can cluster them. For example, the 1, 2, 3, you can discuss in one body paragraph. And then for the remaining, for example, the remaining kinds. So this one, 4, 5, and 6 for your second body paragraph. Is it clear now? It's a little overwhelming if you just include that. Majority to minority. Very good, Sarah. JC also, good job. There. Okay. Per category, very good. Okay. Residential second, bodies, the rest of the categories. Okay, ranking. So you know the basics, guys. Good job. Highest to lowest. Very good, Miss Gia. Yeah, and highest to lowest. Like largest to smallest, also the same. Goody. Very good, guys. So now, this is not the graph that I gave you. We have to go back to the original graph. There. But we have two graphs, so that's why it's easier. Sometimes though, it's harder if you have just one graph because it's more confusing to identify how you're going to separate your information. Which one should be part of the first body paragraph, which one should be part of your second body paragraph. But for this case, since you only have two types of graphs, it's easier. This one is your first body paragraph. This one is your next body paragraph, right? But what if, for example, you have 4 kinds of, let's say, pie chart? I don't know if you've seen some things like that, but again, clustering will also be a part of it. So you need to think how or what is the logical way for you to present your data if you have 4, 5, 6 kinds of pie chart. So you can look at the trends. So in that way also you can be more aware, and you can be able to present a clearer and a more concise and a more accurate information, or a more accurate essay with that one. Okay. Yedo ODG has a question. Pwede po ba na yung related topics? Bale, residential together, then related sa business, isang paragraph po. Residential, so let's look at that. Are you referring to this one? Okay, yes. So residential is the blue one. And then, related sa business, isang paragraph. Okay, what are the things na related to business? So silang dalawa. And then you can present this one also. Okay, you can, sorry, nalimutan natin si other. Pwedeng dito din siya, ganyan. So residential. Some do this. Some do na residential muna, both the residential. But look, that's blue and then the green. So only these two. Yan. So still yung ranking pa rin natin applies, right? So the ranking applies. You first discuss the two ones, yung green and the blue. And then all the remaining will be discussed in another paragraph. So parang it's a good chunking also. Yan. So let me highlight. Yan. Okay. Gets the point, guys. Very good. So yan yung point niya. So in terms of ranking, it applies. But if, for example, in terms of ranking, it will not be the same thing as this graph. Try to think if it's more logical to present, for example, you're presenting residential apartments and residential houses have this kind of percentage or usage of water, something like that. And then you have a different data here. Probably your residential apartments is somewhere in the middle, probably around 6% only. And then in here, you will have other percentages. I think that will be a little more confusing that way. So for me, it's better. But if you have another way of presenting your data, if you would want to stick with this kind of division, so residential area. Okay. All right. So there you go. There. Okay. So once again, this is our format. Okay, you will be writing this one first. Please write an introduction. I'll be giving you 5 minutes only for the introduction and the overview, or should you be needing more? Because overall, you'll be having 20 minutes only. So let's make sure that you only spend 20 minutes for the writing. Okay, just around 5 to 7 minutes for this particular task. You can do it, of course. Okay, introduction and overview. Okay. Okay, introduction and overview. I see, or there's someone who presented her introduction already. How about the overview? Waiting for the overview. Together na guys, introduction and below it, you have your overview so that we can check it. Yeah. Keep it coming. Yes. Okay. I hope it can see. Okay, there you go. All right. Okay, you cannot see the chart yet. Wait, let me just share the other one. Okay, let's have the bigger one. Here you go. I'll stop sharing first and let's change screen sharing. Just a minute. Here you go. How about this one? Is it bigger? Is it clearer for you? Thank you so much. I have a second screen. Okay. You can take a screenshot of this chart first, and then you can go back to it or continue your writing so that we can have a couple of examples discussed for this one. Okay, next. All right, screenshot done, guys. Yeah. We'll do the editing part now. The first one will be the work of Jan. All right, so this one is the work of there you go. From Facebook, we have Jen Baliola Arayata. Okay, Jen, this is your work. I asked you guys to write an introduction and a body paragraph. So we must separate this one here. Keep or maintain, make sure that you have one space or a line in between the paragraphs. Okay, the pie chart illustrates the water utilization in Australia per category in 2004. Meanwhile, the bar graph shows the distribution of residential water use in the same country. Okay, and within the same year. Overall, water was mainly utilized by residential houses. Where's that? Residential houses at 57%, whereas other sectors consume the least amount of water at 3%. It is also clear that usage in the bathroom and the garden comprise the greatest proportion of residential water consumption in the country. Okay, so in here, what type of information was presented in the overview? What did she present in her overview? Figures, yes. What in general about figures? What can you say about the figures presented? Highest to lowest, very good, Grace. There was a comparison. All right. There was a comparison indeed. Yeah. So highest to lowest. You can present yung highest to lowest features comparison also. For the other types of the graphs, for the overview, you can present your trend as well, or the relationships between your graphs. Let's say you have two information, but for this one, you can just present which is highest and which is lowest. Okay, goody goody. Yay, okay. Let's call in somebody from Zoom. Let's do alternate. Okay. How about Zoom? Do we have introduction plus overview in Zoom? Just the introduction. Okay, introduction. Miss Grace. Okay. This is the work of Miss Grace for her introduction. Okay, careful lang for the capitalizations, guys. The pie chart and bar graph, yeah, in capital letters, careful. And bar graph give information about the consumption, spelling, consumption of water. Why? What is wrong with the W, with the capitalization? So several mistakes na tayo for capitalization, guys. That's very essential. Okay, water by the dwellers of Australia in year 2004. Okay, in year 2004. Goody. Also, very short, sweet introduction. Okay, Shever from Facebook. Let's do the introduction from Facebook. This one, the pie chart and bar graph. So the pie chart and, oops, sorry. The pie chart and bar graph. Bar space graph with a small g depicts with the letter T, depicts the utilization of water among the citizens of Australia in the year 2004. Utilization of water, because we use its consumption of water and water usage also. So goody, good job. Okay. This is from, did I get this from Facebook? Yes, I did get this from Facebook. So let's go back to the chat box, Zoom chat box. Let's take the work of Clarice Bautista. Clarice has 2 paragraphs. One is the introduction paragraph, and then the second one is the overview. Let's see. There. Is it clear? No, wait. Let me just adjust the font size so it's clearer for you guys. There. There. The charts provide information on the proportion of water utilized in 6 different areas in Australia and the distribution of water usage in the country's residences in 2004. Amazing. Okay. What is a new idea that was presented here that was not mentioned in the previous ones? What is something new here? In 6 different areas in Australia. Okay. Very good. Karen Melissa Molina. 6 different areas in Australia. Okay. Very good. Good job. Yay. Okay. See, you're learning a lot from each other. See? Good job, guys. Now, let's look at the overview. Overall, it can be seen that more than half of water consumption in Australia was spent for domestic purposes. Domestic purposes. Very good. Domestic purposes. Domestic, what do you think is the category that represents the domestic purposes? If I go back to this one, which is the domestic purposes? Clarice answered. Yes, the domestic is the residential. See, guys, you can use your other words. Domestic. Clarice used the word domestic for this one. Good job. Okay, domestic purposes with more than a quarter of it being used in bathroom and residential gardens. So from saying that most of it was used in domestic purposes, because from here up until here, yeah, so Pac-Man, okay? It's like Pac-Man. This is your domestic purposes, right? Residential, domestic also, okay? From this one, okay, because this is a translation of your, this one. So both for apartments and houses, that's a translation of this one. How did residential, how was residential water used for that one? Okay, and then another concept was presented, a quarter of it being used in bathroom and residential. So where was a quarter? Bathroom and residential, yeah, residential gardens. So this is your bathroom and this is your residential. Yeah, so gardens and bathroom. Very good. Please notice also, so yan na, is it exactly pointing at 25% yung garden and bathroom? Is it exactly pointing there? Not really, right? So if it's not really pointing there, it's very good to use your approximation words, or how Clarice was able to use more than a quarter of it. Yung it is a good referencing for your residential water. Very good. in bathroom and residential gardens. Good job. So instead of repeating or being redundant with the word residential, she used it here and then another it there. Okay. Very good. So happy. Okay, after that, let us look at, let's go back to, where did they get this? Zoom or ano? How about the rest? Facebook. Let's go back to Facebook. Examples from Facebook. Ah, okay. Let's look at Chai. Chai Diego. Wait, let me just get the whole thing. Oopsie. There, this is the work of Chai Diego. The information below describes the consumption of residential water the consumption. Please be careful because the word consumption and water usage, oh, okay. Water usage, they mean the same thing. Okay, although good job that you presented the two kinds of information presented, but the word consumption was also seen, where is that? Directly from your hero, consumption. And then water usage. Okay, so as much as possible, try not to use the words that are found in your task description. So you can just say instead of consumption, describes how water was consumed in Australia in 2004, something like that. And then you can just have a second sentence for this one in the bar graph. Yeah, so you can present it that way. So you can have two sentences. You can have two short sentences for this one first. Just a concise introduction will do for this one. Okay, next, overall, residential houses consumed the highest percentage of water by 57%. Yeah, 57%, very good, that is true. Accurate information. Residential houses, most of its consumption, so its consumption meaning residential houses goes to the usage. Okay, goes, is this the proper tense to use for this paragraph, for the overview? Goes. Should we be using goes or another term? Very good. Erica Ortega of Facebook. Good job. We are referring to year 2004. So since we were referring to year 2004, you have to make sure that you're following that time element. So instead of goes, you have to use the past tense of goes. Okay? So there you go. It happened in 2004. So went siya dapat. Follow the proper tense. Okay, yeah. All right. So good job. Goes to the user in the least consumption usage in the kitchen by 10%. Very good. So highest and lowest also, the one presented here. Good job. For this particular kind of task, can you present trends here? Can you say there was an increasing trend of industrial water usage, or there was an increased the water usage in the bathroom plummeted. Sorry, the water usage in the toilet plummeted because it's like this. Can you explain this first and then say it plummeted? Something like that. No trend. Very good. Okay, no trend, no trend, no trend, no trend. Good job, guys. What else was something that we can avoid using? This one and this one and this one. So a while ago we had tense. So this is your tense. How about values? Values, remember, this is your overview. Should there be a value already in your overview? Not really that much, right? So apart from this one, not yet. Save it for the best, and the best part of your writing task one are your detailed paragraphs. So save it for the best. Okay, save it for later. Okay, you can just say residential houses. Residential houses consume the highest percentage of water with most of, yeah, okay. Most of its consumption goes to the usage of water, water in bathing with the least consumption usage in the kitchen. So just remove this one. And then the proportions or the actual percentages, you can state it in your detailed paragraphs. Yep. Okay, next. We have a lot of examples because we have 157 participants in Facebook Live. So let's look at this one. Yeah, let's look at the work of Liwayway. Liwayway, from which country are you from? Or where are you located? Si Liwayway. Okay, it's such a nice name to have, or it's wait there. OOC. Okay, there you go. This is from Liwayway Baldo. There you go. Samar. Okay, hello there in Samar. Okay, you mentioned the pie chart provides information about the utilization of water. So there you go. This is what I'm saying. I was saying utilization instead of consumption. The utilization of water in Australia per category in 2004. Meanwhile, the bar graph depicts the water usage of Australian households in the same year. Very good. Australian households, because you mentioned it was residential, right? In the same year. Good job. Good job. Okay. Overall, it can be observed that residential houses acquired the greatest proportion of water consumption. It is also clear that most of its water usage went to bathroom, which is approximately more than a quarter of the total consumption. More than a quarter of the total consumption. Good job. Okay, there you go. Amazing. So see, this is somehow easy for you guys. But at least we are covering the basis for we are covering the basics first, so that you can have that confidence when you are given more difficult ones. Thank you so much, Miss Liwayway from Samar. Okay, question. Is it okay to use from an overall perspective? It can be seen that, okay. You can use from an overall perspective, it can be seen that, but compare, okay, wait, let's add this one. From an overall perspective, it can be seen that this one, okay, wait. Yung from an overall perspective, somehow, it's okay. It's the same in essence when it comes to using overall as well. It's just a little more creative, but in terms of the use of your words, it's like you're adding more words, but the sense actually lies in how you present the data, right? It's better to present the data with actual words that depict or that describe your information rather than longer cohesive devices that can be shortened with just simpler cohesive devices. Although if you would want to be more creative, well and good. It's just that for me, again, I want to write very quickly. It means the same thing either way. This one, we can retain this one, but this one from an overall perspective, it's good. It's okay. It's okay to use this. You're trying to be creative though, but make sure that not all your cohesive devices are this long. Okay, because the examiner might think, you reach the word count, but then again, it's all because of your cohesive devices. So not really that important. Okay, so that's not really the case. Okay, there. All right. Are there any questions that I haven't answered yet? Thank you also, Miss Clarice, for that question. How about the rest? Do you have any more questions that need to be answered? You can sleep. Makakatulog kayo, guys. I hope I've answered yung questions niyo. Okay, thank you for those who are sharing also. Next, we proceed with the body paragraphs. Body paragraphs or detailed paragraphs. So again, let's go back to screen sharing this one. I'll present the bigger version of this graph. There, is it bigger? Okay, there. Oops, sorry, you're not supposed to write the introduction. Sorry, you're not supposed to write the introduction and overview paragraph, but you're supposed to write the specific details. So let's do the detailed paragraph in one go. So you can write 2 detailed paragraphs for this one. It's harder to check if you're doing it one paragraph after another because we need to observe how coherent your presentation of your ideas are. Okay, so I'll be giving you another, I think, 7 minutes for this one. It's 10:22, 7 or 8 minutes. So we'll be back at 10:30 later. Okay. 2 minutes before we resume. Okay, so let's take a look at the other examples presented by your classmate. Let's have a look at the work of Sarah. Yeah, this is the work of Sarah. Let's change the screen sharing options. There you go. Okay. According to Sarah, in 2004, the Australians residing in houses consumed most of the water and more than half of the proportion. Very good, more than half of the proportion. On the other hand, the people living in apartments had 13%, while in the industrialized area, okay, while the industrialized area used water at 11%. Industrialized area used 11% of the water. 11% of the water. Moreover, yeah, so good use of your cohesive devices. I just did notice though that in here you have in 2004 at the beginning. On the other hand, at the beginning as well, and then moreover at the beginning also. You can vary, guys, where you place your cohesive devices. Okay, you can place it at the beginning, you can place it at the middle. It's not wrong. It's not wrong. Please don't get me wrong. It's not wrong to have it in the beginning all of the time, but you can vary it. Okay, you can probably say the people living in apartments on the other hand. So, yeah, dito siya place. On the other hand, yeah, so you can do that. You can vary also. Okay, but if if you're used to placing your cohesive devices at the beginning so that you won't forget it, then just keep doing so. I'm just saying that it's possible to place it in the middle also. Moreover, the business area utilized 1 in 10, while the government business area 1 in 10. So you can say 1 in 10, or you can say a 10th, right? A 10th, while the government and others had insignificant percentages. Very good use of insignificant percentages. Yan. Government, because yung government and others, why are they insignificant? 6 and then 3% lang siya. Okay? With 6 and 3% respectively. Good job. Why did she spell out 6 and 3% respectively? 3% and 6% can be actually placed with this one. And 6% also, respectively. Careful though, if you have the word respectively, make sure that the order of your values coincide with the order of the categories that you've mentioned. So since you mentioned the government first, make sure that the government is really equivalent to 6%, and then yung others is really equivalent to yan, 3%. Okay, because you have respectively. One common mistake in writing task 1 is you're using respectively, but your figures or your categories are jumbled also. You can use respectively whether you're having 2 or more categories as well. It's a little confusing though if you have more categories though, because you might be confused with the order of the figures. Okay, but very good. All right, good job, Sarah, for your first detailed paragraph. Then the remaining one, this one is again discussing about the residential water usage in Australia for the same year. Meanwhile, the majority of households used water in bathroom and garden with just over a quarter. Very good. Over a quarter. So you can also mention a little over a quarter. You can also mention almost, it's not almost, yeah, a little over a quarter or a little over 25%. But for me, it's a good thing that she used a quarter instead of just writing 25% again. So in that way, you can show the examiner that you are able to vary how you present your data. You can present numerically, you can present using fractions. There you go. Okay. With a fifth. Okay, good job. With a fifth. So a fifth, why do you say that it's a fifth? Then in washing clothes with a fifth. Why do you say a fifth, yung washing clothes? Let's go back. Why do you say it's a fifth? Yeah. Why do you say it's a fifth, guys? Bakit a fifth? How did 20 become a fifth? Fifth siya of 100, right? Because in 100, how many 20s do you have? 5, right? Right? Okay, there. So it will be very helpful for you guys to create your word bank so that, very good, Geraldyn, Ebueza, Abing. 20% is 1/5 of 100. Good job. There you go. So as I was saying, you must have a word bank. It will really be very helpful for you. So please do write there all the essential cohesive devices that you can use for the writing. Please do write there the synonyms for trends, the synonyms for the rising, the decreasing, so something like that. You can also present or have ready synonyms for 1/5, 1/4, 20%, so something like this. So it will be helpful. That's why it's easy for her to present. It's easy for Sarah to present you a little over or half, yan, or a fifth, yan. So good job because it's already something that is very common. There. The water was least utilized. Good job. Okay, it was followed by toilet. Very good. Followed by toilet at 15%. The water was least utilized in the kitchen with just 10%. Good job. All right. Goody, goody. Next, we have Abigail. Okay. For Abigail, let's try to copy this one. Did you note, guys, how many minutes it took you to write? Yeah. So as much as possible, try to be conscious about that also. If you know already the basics, it will be helpful for you to identify or to be conscious about your time so that you know if you're ready to take the exam already. If you know you can reach the 20 minutes or if you can finish within the 20 minutes allotted time for this one. Okay, this is from Abigail for this one. Okay. She said that beginning with the largest consumer, so she applied ranking here, residential houses utilized exactly 57%. Very good use of the word exactly. Okay, so the opposite of an approximation is exactly. So it's approximately, if it's exactly, so it's the actual amount. So 57%, more than all of the other categories combined in 2004. Okay. More than all of the categories combined in 2004. Okay. Aside from presenting exactly 57%, can you say majority? Residential houses utilized majority of the water with more than all the other categories combined in 2004. Or compared to a majority compared to the all other categories combined in 2004. Can you use the word majority over here? Yes or no? Instead of exactly 57%. Utilized majority of the water. Okay. So if you mention, yes, you can mention, yes, indeed, it's true, you can mention majority, but please make sure that when you use the word majority, you are referring to more than half. So you can use if the value is 50.1%, you can do that. If you can say, if it's 57%, all the more you can use majority. But if it is, let's say, 49% and the others are like 13%, 10%. Can you use majority for the 49%? If it's just 49%, can you use the word majority? No. Yes, you cannot. You cannot use. The majority is intended only if it's more than 50%. Okay, so if you mention majority, you can delete this part already. Very good, Les Conde. Okay, so since you mentioned majority of the water, it will seem a little shorter though because you will be deleting this portion already more than all the other categories. Yung portion na majority of the water, it is equivalent to more than all the other categories combined. Right? Majority of the water in 2004. So you can do it like this also. So it's a variation for your other work so that it will seem also a little shorter. Why? I'm trying to shorten it because as I checked this one, it's already 114 words here. So let's try to check how many remaining words for you to meet 150. So you only have less than 35 words, but you still have the introduction and then you have the overview. So more or less your two paragraphs will consist of around 40 to 50 words each. So roughly you might be exceeding 200 words, and if you might be exceeding 200 words, you might be writing your task one longer than expected. So you might be exceeding 20 minutes. That's not what we are trying to do here. We're trying to beat the clock and we're trying to do it correctly. Okay, very good. But wait, let me retain again. Let me get back to the original. Okay, then let's go back. On the other hand, the second highest would be residential apartments at 13%. Okay, very good use of your beginning with the largest consumer, the second largest, something like that. So good job because you're applying ranking here. Okay, consumers from industry and business utilize 11% and 10% respectively. Good job. While the government and others had insignificant percentages with only 6% and 3%. You can also use respectively here. Good job. Okay. Okay. Miss Grace, it's okay. Gising na po ang anak nyo. Yes. Meme na, baby. Thank you so much. There are things that takes precedence over the IELTS review, but thank you so much for being so participative, Miss Grace, as always. All right, next, turning to the bar graph. Yeah, ito. Medyo okay lang to. Ayan, turning to the bar graph, it can be seen that the bathroom had the highest consumption of water at about 27%, with the garden as its second highest consumer. Good. Bathroom and then garden, second highest consumer. There's just a very fine difference though between the bathroom and the garden. Very fine lang. You might not see it. But there is. Indeed, the highest is bathroom and then garden. Okay, next. Where is that? Second highest consumer. Both categories consumed more than a quarter. Okay, both categories consumed more than a quarter. Okay, washing clothes consumed exactly a fifth. Good job. While the toilet used 15%. The lowest category would be the kitchen with only 10% of water consumption. Can you see a comparison here, guys? Here's the comparison. Okay, Les, where's the comparison? There's not really a comparison. Make sure, guys, that you have a comparison. If it's missing in the detailed paragraph, make sure that you have a comparison in your overview at least. Okay, one comparison is enough, but if you can present two comparisons, it's okay also. Yeah, so probably you're just confused, guys, because you have more than a quarter. It's not a comparison because you're not mentioning, you're not comparing it with anything. You're just mentioning that it's more than 25%. The percentage or the residential water used in the bathroom and the garden is more than 25%. It's quite confusing in that case because sometimes for our comparisons, we state 25% more, 5% more, 2% less. We do that, right? So if you see the word more, it's okay. I'm good. I have a comparison already. No, it's not like that. That is why it's essential, it's imperative, guys, for you to allot a time for your editing. So of course, you will do your planning, you will do your outlining, then you will write your actual writing process. Plus, you also have your editing phase. It's highly crucial because sometimes your small mistakes might cost you scores or might cost you deductions for particular band descriptors for grammar or maybe for vocab. So careful, careful. All right, next, let's have AJ Victoria. Okay. So let's have this. Oopsie, sorry. To start with, homes and rental accommodations consumed more than half of the water in 57% and 13% respectively. With 57% and 13% respectively. Good job. The business consumption was at 11%, while industries was at the 1/10 mark. Okay, good job. You mentioned 1/10 mark, so it's essential for you to have your article here. Okay, furthermore, the government and other sources were both low, with just 6% and 3% sequentially. Ooh, good job. Okay, next. On the other hand, residents' water was used the most at the bathroom. Used the most, very good. Instead of saying used or parang highest, you can mention used the most. Okay, the bathroom and in the garden with the pair having. So instead of mentioning bathroom and garden, you can mention the pair, just like what AJ did. Very good. Having more than 25%. Okay, washing clothes. Usage of water was at 20%, while toilet only had 15%. Okay. So again, ranking, same style. So this one is ranked. This one is also ranked. With just a 10th, very good structure. With just a 10th, the kitchen had the minimum water expenditure. Okay. There you go. Yep. Amazing. Good job, guys. Where is the comparison? AJ, did you present a comparison for your overview? There was no comparison. So I am hoping actually that you have a comparison for your comparison either in your overview. You cannot make it's just the part that's remaining where you can present a comparison. If I did not find your comparison here in your detailed paragraphs, hopefully you were able to present a comparison. This is the first part, not in the introduction, but the overview. Okay, goody. Next, I'll be presenting roughly a model essay for this one. So let's do this, guys. The pie chart illustrates the water utilization in Australia per area category in 2004. In addition, the bar graph shows how residential water is used in the same country and within the exact year. Okay, overall, the other sector consumed the least amount of the resource. It is, however, predominantly utilized by residential houses. Okay, more specifically, the bathroom and the garden combined contributed to more than half of the residential water consumption in the country. So that's the introduction part and the overview. Okay, again, reminder, in terms of tenses for the introduction, make sure that you're using present tense for this one. Shows, illustrates. So there you go. And then we move on to the detailed paragraphs. In detail, after houses, the next biggest, the three next biggest consumers of water were residential apartments, industry and businesses, with proportions not far behind each other at 13%, 11%, and 10% respectively. Moreover, the government's water usage was double the percentage of the other category. Where is the comparison? Can you see a comparison? What did I compare? Yes, correct, Miss Grace. Was double. Was double. What did I compare? Government and other category. Why did I say it's double? Because in our chart, you can see there, if you go back, government is at 6%. Okay, and the other category doesn't look like a 6. 6%, and then this one is 3%. See, I'm choosing the easy ones. Choose the easy ones. Wherein if you apply math, it's very easy, di ba? It's automatic. 3 and 6. 3 is half of 6. 6 is double of 3. Okay, or twice as much. You can do that. Okay. There. All right, now let's do this. Let's continue. Very good, Les. Government and other category. Thank you, Miss Liwayway. You got it there. I can only present one. I can present one, by the way, sorry. I can present one or I can present two. So it depends if it'll be easier for you to present two, but make sure you have at least one comparison. Okay, let's proceed to the last detailed paragraph. With regard to domestic pottery use, the bathroom and the garden utilized more than a quarter each of water that year, while washing clothes used a fifth of the said supply. Why did I use more than a quarter each? Why did I use more than a quarter each? Your other classmates used each also. It's essential for you to have each, because if you just simply say the bathroom and the garden utilized a quarter of the water supply, it's just assuming that bathroom and garden used more than 25%. So if you just say the bathroom and the garden used more than 25%, it's somehow like this. If you combine bathroom and garden, yan o, parang ganito siya. It will be equal to above 25%. That's why I use the word each, because if you go back to your screens, wait lang, let me try to go back. They have, ayan, ito sila, guys. More than 25% each. Bathroom had more than 25%, garden had more than 25%. So that is why it's essential for you to be able to use particular words. Yan. Okay, there you go. And then let me continue on with this one. Okay. While washing clothes used a fifth of the said supply. A fifth of what? A fifth of the water supply. A fifth is 20%, as we've mentioned a while ago. Okay, finally, kitchen has the lowest usage, accounting for 10% only. And then I have here, comma, a value 5% less than that of toilet. I didn't mention that toilet exactly had 15%, but instead I compared that it is 5% more than the 10% here. Or I mentioned, meaning, sorry, you might be confused. Kitchen is 10%. So since kitchen is 5% less than that of toilet, so automatically you will think that the toilet is 15%. So you can do it that way also. Okay, so there are how many comparisons for this one? Do I have a comparison here? I have it here. Yes, Chai, where is it? Sige, here, oh, yan. 5% less than that of the toilet. So yun, there's a comparison. I presented two comparisons for this one. But again, do not be pressured. As long as you have one, you're safe. You're safe, okay? Please make sure, guys, whenever you're planning, please make sure that during your planning stage, your outlining stage, um, you can already or you've already written your actual comparison so that when you're writing, you will not forget that you need to present a comparison. For the comparisons, if it's harder, you can just present it simply like this, 5% less than that. If it's not exact, if it's not exactly double, if it's not exactly twice as much, so you can just present 5% less, 2% less, 3% less, as long as there's just a comparison of that one, okay? So please do make sure that you're following the instructions, especially for the comparisons, so that you'll be able to meet all the target band scores that you have. So again, for writing task 1 and writing task 2 as well, and for speaking, since these are productive skills, you need to practice, guys, okay? There are countless of sample essays for writing task 1 and writing task 2, but it will be very hard for you and it will be extra challenging for you guys if you will be just reading and reading and reading your sample essays and not actually doing it on your own. You have to practice this skill, okay? So that you'll be able to be more confident when it comes to using your words, your vocabularies also, so that you can practice them. Okay, and then what else? Expose yourself to different kinds of to different types of essays, because as we've mentioned last time, you have either statistical or process. So please make sure that when you practice, that when you write, you have answered statistical kinds of essays, and you have processes also as your task descriptions. And it's also essential for Ielts, especially for writing and for speaking, it's essential for you to be assessed and for you to be evaluated, because it's not only important to practice, but it's important to have correct practice. Okay, so you need to be corrected. Don't be shy. If you have options to book for coaching sessions, please do so. At 9.09er, we offer coaching sessions for you guys. So open arms kami to all of you. We would like to welcome you para we can help you more when it comes to reaching your goal. So once again, do you have any more questions for writing task 1? Yeah, thank you so much for your participation, guys. I really appreciate it. I will save the chat box. I will save everything that is written here in the chat box. And I don't know, probably I can send this one, yung chat message, so that you have an actual copy of your output also for those who sent it via the Zoom chat box. But for those who share their output in Facebook, you can just copy it if you would want to have it checked during your coaching session, or if you would want to continue your work also. Okay, so thank you also, Mr. or Miss Albi. Okay, thank you, thank you. And then here is us if you want to have more help, and if you would want to achieve your score, we would be glad to help you and we'd be glad to assist you, of course. You can email us at training@nineronlinereview.com. Here is our Facebook. Here's our Facebook page. And I'll just copy the whole thing so that it's easier for you. You can message us here. So I'm copying it at the chat box, both for Zoom and here. Also, where is that? Okay, so there you go. Email is training@nineronlinereview.com, and then you have Niner Facebook official page. There you go. There. Okay. There. All right. Thank you so much for your time, guys. Yeah, and I hope you learned a lot. Keep on practicing. Thank you also to IFNG for this opportunity to help out. And once again, guys, please share naman your love. Share your love. React naman kayo, guys, for the birthday by Sir Marvin. Mr. M, it's his birthday today. Let's make him happy.
Yeah.
Ayan.
Okay, Miss
Thank you.
Den. First, I would like to say thank you to Miss Den for our guest tonight, and as well as to Niner Squad and to the rest of our on behalf of admins of IFNG and sa lahat na nag-participate, nag-send ng mga works nila. Actually, I'm really, that's really amazing kasi in just short period of time, you can generate your answer. So just keep doing that as your practice. So thank you. Yeah. And happy birthday again, Marvin.
See you
Thank you
next
so
week.
much,
Happy
Miss
birthday,
Dan
Sir
and Sir
Marvin.
Irvin, and to
Thank you,
everyone.
Jeff.
Take care. Good night.
Bye-bye. Good night.